This is Arnie Lang.
Hi. I don't know if all of you know who Howard Van Hyning was. He recently died and left us with a great legacy. The other major coup was his totally unknown Gladstone snare drum. I don't know if all of you know who Billy Gladstone was. He was a major figure in the 1950s, played Radio City Music Hall from, I believe, 1939 till 1953 or so. In the course of his career, he was an inventor with 17 patents to his name. Most of them involving percussion instruments, but one or two of outside interests was on the three-way tuning that originally was put on the Gretsch Gladstone drums in 1937. Shortly after that, the Second World War started, and you couldn't get materials, metals, and so Gretsch gave up that venture, and after the war, gave the patent rights back to Billy Gladstone, who then produced a very limited edition of some 50 snare drums, including a number of other patents besides the three-way tuning, the throw-off, the muffling device that Billy invented. Those drums were in collectors' hands, and there's a book about it written by Chet Falzerano, and if you're interested in following it up. And Chet traced down all of the owners of the original drums. About 20 years ago, I got involved in making Goodman timpani, and in the course of being involved in the machine shop, asked the owner of the shop if he could make these snare drum parts. And he said to me, well, and the drum hadn't been made in 40 years. And he said to me, well, I don't care what you call them, they're just machine parts to me, and of course I can make them if you're willing to pay for them. So about 3 months later, he brought me 3 pieces. I asked them, what kind of shape did you find this, and where did you find it? Well, an uncle of ours had it in the attic for years and years and years, and it was all brown. The finish had crackled, and it had discolored, and the handles were all discolored as well. Fingerprints and sweat marks had discolored the handle. So we took it to a stripper, and we had all the finish stripped off, and the handles polished up. And look at this gorgeous piece sitting here. And he said, oh, it's really lovely. We can authenticate it. And he said, I would say it's worth about $50,000 now. And they said, oh, wow. But if you hadn't stripped the finish off, it would be worth about $500,000. So it led me to think, well, maybe I better not touch Howard's drum too much. So it's all I did was basically kind of clean it up, replace a few little broken parts that match the original Gladstone parts that we make, and here it is, you see it. I'd like you to...
Sure. Okay, honoring Howard Van Hyning, this is Downfall of Paris. 1, 2, 3, 4.